Aufzeichnung läuft.
Alles klar. So, okay. So first of all, I would like to thank you very much for the opportunity to speak at the 12th Symposium on Electrical Safety. My name is Christian Werner, and I'm working at the IFA. That's the Institute for Occupational Safety and Health of the German Social Accident Insurance. Of course, we are located in Germany. And the IFA, I'm in charge of the section Machinery Safety, Industrial Security, and Implants. And today I would like to tell you something about the safety of data glasses. So for my presentation, I will switch off my video so that you can see the presentation on the full screen. So, okay, first of all, I would like to introduce the IFA a little bit to you. So the IFA is one of 3 institutes of the DGUV, the German Social Accident Insurance. First of all, you can see on the left side the first institute of the DGUV, that's the IPA, that's the Institute for Prevention and Occupational Medicine in Bochum. Then you can see on the right side the Institute for Work and Health, that's the IAG in Dresden. And of course the IFA, the Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, and we are located in St. Augustin. In addition, the DGUV funds research projects of external institutions if they have a relationship to the occupational safety and health sector. So the institutes have different focuses. So the IAG is mainly involved in projects with psychological aspects of occupational health and safety, and is home of a large training center for the DGUV members and people outside the DGUV. Most of the projects of the IPA focuses on occupational medicine and the rehabilitation of people, just to reintegrate people into the world of work after they had an accident, for example, at work. And the projects with a scientific background are realized at the IFA. Especially my department deals mainly with accidents, prevention and machinery safety, as well as the testing and certification of safety components in accordance with the machinery directive. In addition, the IFA is accredited to several standards, and we are also a notified body. That means that we can certify safety products in accordance with the machinery directory without having a harmonized standard for that. So here you can see the IFA missions from 2020. Around about 25% of our work we spent on accident prevention, and around about 75% we work in the field of occupational disease and work-related health risks. So on the right side, you can see a slightly finer breakdown of the IFA work, if you like. So some interesting figures of the IFA regarding the year 2020. So the IFA has around about 250 employees, which carries out a total of approximately 2,000 tests of PPE and technical work equipment per year. And in addition, you can see in the last line, we're working on around about 50 projects on various topics. And of course, some of them are dealing with the data glasses. So at the end of my presentation, I will show you some examples of ongoing projects at the IFA, which are related to data glasses. So, okay, now I think you have a short overview about my background and, of course, the IFA. And now I would like to start with my main part of my presentation. So first, I would like to start with a definition what data glasses are, and On this slide, you can see a definition that is as general and as short as possible, I think. So data glasses are head-mounted displays that provides real-time information for the user, of course, and allows hands-free operations. And this is a very useful feature, I think, for the industry, because it allows the employee to receive information about the work to be done without interrupting it. And that's the main feature for the industry, I think, just to reduce the time you spend on your work. So that's why data glasses are widely used, for example, in logistics, and they are especially in the pick by vision principle. So there, the employees is shown, for example, which goods belong to a delivery or an order that has to put together. Or, for example, the worker get a notice where on which location the goods are located in the factory. So another example is remote maintenance. Here an expert, for example, can inspect the machine via an employee's data glasses and carries out troubleshooting remotely without being directly in front of the machine. Or another example, the data glasses can be used, for example, for an assembly assistance, whereby the operator is shown useful information for his work he has to do. So on the next slide, you can see some individual components of the data glasses. So nearly all data glasses have onboard a camera and a processing unit for the communication, as well as a rechargeable battery. The data glass is, or in the picture is, has also, the data glass in the picture has also an internal projector and a prism. That's the two things on the right side, which can be used to show the user necessary information or something like that. So other data glasses are similar to that. Maybe they have a wider screen or even be completely closed so that the operator cannot through them. But I think the main part for us is the processing unit, and that's the interesting parts for us today. So if we think about possible aspects we have to consider for occupational safety and health, we have to think of electrical hazards. That's the first thing, I think. There we have to look at the battery safety or the protection cloth or something like that. And furthermore, we have to look at the emitted radiation of the module of the data glass. Another aspect from our perspective is the ergonomic aspect. So we have to look if everything is fine with the operator using a data glass over a long period of time. So that is a very, very main question, I think. And of course, we have to look at the eye safety. So is everything fine with the eye wearing a data glass over 6 or 8 hours? So that's a major point in our discussion today. Yeah, so let's start with the electrical hazards. So I think there are several ways to reduce, for example, the possibility of an electrical shock. So one is encapsulated housing. So I think almost all data glasses I know on the market have this option. So I think we can check this. So in addition, the data glasses I know operates with a low voltage. So maybe 5 or 12 volts. So I think if we look at low voltage devices, we have no problems regarding electrical hazards, and we can check this too. But then with regard to battery safety, I think the situation is unfortunately not quite so obvious. So that's why I put the mark here in brackets. And yeah, why is it so? So some data glasses at the market use lithium ion or polymer batteries with a large capacity. And unfortunately, we know that these kind of batteries may explode or begin to burn during use or during storage. So we have to be careful by using it. So I think, therefore, it is essential to observe the manufacturer's specification, of course, and especially at higher temperatures, there is a risk that the battery can be damaged and maybe start burning by using it. And even if the data glasses are not used, so from my side, please be sure that they are stored safely. So on the second picture here, that's the picture here above. So that's the picture I mean. So this is a safety case, especially for rechargeable batteries, which we have bought at the IFA just to store our rechargeable batteries safely. So please be sure that this is an option for you. Yeah, what we cannot understand is that there are actually so many problems regarding these kind of batteries, because you can see it on the screen. The IEC 62133 Part 2 or UL 2054 describes some tests that are intended to minimize these potential hazards of this kind of batteries. And we do not know why the standards are not used often. So as you can see here, there are inside the standards some tests described regarding electrical tests or mechanical tests. Or you can see it on the right side, you have tests for overcharging and deep charging and something like that. But unfortunately, you do not find batteries using these standards on the market. So I ask you to pay attention to such information when buying devices with this kind of batteries in the future. So let us now turn to the hazards that could arise due to emitted radiation of a data glass. So as you can see here in the picture, there's a data glass with an integrated communication module, and the communication module emits a high-frequency electromagnetic field. This is similar to cell phones, I think. But however, in the case of data glasses, the antennas are located at a fixed point and, of course, permanently in the area of the head. And therefore, the most effective measure to reduce EMF we have right now, which is to increase the distance, cannot be applied because you're in a fixed on a fixed point. You have the antennas instead of by using a cell phone. So in order to investigate the influence of an EMF to the head, I think different parameters have to be considered. First of all, we think we have to look at the SAR, that's the specific absorption rate. And the SAR is a measure of the rate at which energy per unit mass is absorbed by a human body. And so we think that is a good way to look at this parameter at first. And the advantage of the SAR is that there are already existing limit values for the occupational safety and health and the general public sector. So we can use this. So then the second parameter we have to look at is the local temperature increase of the tissue due to the absorbed EMF EMG. So and if we can calculate the local temperature increase caused by the data glasses, we have hope that a medical assessment of the effect can be done. That is a point for the future. We do not have this measured today, but I think it's a very, very good way to look at it in the future, just to be sure to have a very safe data glass. So, and when looking at the EMF exposure on the head, it makes sense to focus on the eyes first. Why? I think first thing is the eye has no protective layer like a skin or something like that, so which could be absorbed or could absorb energy. And of course, the antennas are located very close to the eye. And of course, a damage to the eye can quickly become irreparable. So we have to be very sure that the eye safety is given by the data glasses. So the IFA has already calculated and simulated the SAR in earlier project, as I told you, for example, for the use of a cell phone. Currently, we are in the process of transferring the method to the use of the data glasses. The formula to calculate the SAR for a defined point within the body, you can see here on the picture. And of course, you can use a suitable software for the calculation. So the calculation is then very easy to do. And as I already told you, here you can see the limits for the SAR, for the general public area, and for the occupation safety and health sector for Europe. And as you can see on the slide, the limit value is given as a peak spatial SAR. That means that you have to average the local SAR value over 10 grams of any contiguous body tissue. So here you can see 3 pictures from a previous project, but our goal is to be able to perform such a simulation for data glasses as 2. So, okay, temperature increase. So the calculation or the simulation of the temperature increase inside the head is not quite so simple. So as you can see on the formula on this slide. So in the current project, we are in the process to perform this simulation and subsequently verify the testing results. So unfortunately, the project is not over yet, so I cannot show you any results of it at the moment, but hopefully I can give you the results in the next year. So let's come to another aspect for the use of data glasses. Another aspect we have to consider regarding the occupational safety and health of the data glasses are the ergonomic aspects. So obviously, wearing the data glass adds weight on the head and the neck area. So, and in the worst case, the weight distribution of the data glasses are unequal. So that can be caused by the communication module or a module on only one side of the data glass. Or if you look at the second picture, the center of gravity of the data glass is in front of the head. So it's like you're always looking down if you wear this. So, and there's another problem could be that the eye have to focus constantly at a very short distance of the display. So this can lead to a faster tidiness of the wearer. So for this reason, the wearing times must be evaluated and adapted to the respective application the data glasses is used for. And of course, in addition, care must be taken out to ensure that the data glasses are compatible with other PPE, which the operator must wear. And of course, the PPE, which is necessary, is not restricted in its prospective effect. That's a very big point too. Yeah, so if we think about the eye safety, there are different aspects to take into account. On the one hand, you have to look at the EMF exposure of the eyes, which I have already mentioned some slides before. On the other hand, there is the illumination and the brightness of the display we have to look at. And you can see in the picture a measurement of this, where we try to measure the illumination of the display. And we found out that the illumination is very similar to the illumination of a monitor or a tablet. But you have to be careful because the eyes are much closer to the display than by using a tablet. So we have to find out if the distance between the eyes and the display is an interesting factor or not. Yeah, so here you can see another data glass which we have analyzed. The measurements of EMF and brightness are here in this case comparable to those of other data glasses we have looked at the IFA. But this data glass has a 60 gigahertz transmitter radiation, which we have not been able to analyze yet. It's a simple way because we did not yet have an antenna for this high frequency range. So, and this example should show you that there are very many different data glasses currently on the market, some of which have very, very special features you have. And then you have to take care of the special data glasses. Yeah, and here you can see more EMF measurements of data glasses we have done at the IFA. So first of all, I can tell you that these are not critical in terms of values when compared to other electronic components. But however, the data glasses are very close to the head. You have to think about this in your application. And for this reason, we think further simulation and evaluations of the exposures are necessary. And we will do this at the IFA in the next month or years. Yeah, due to the previous mentioned aspects, we think a risk assessment is necessary before using data glasses in your production or in your fabrication. For this, I have prepared a small template for you. This is, of course, not complete, but contains some important information. For example, if you look at the first line, the optical radiation should be below 400 candela per square meter. This is approximately the illumination of tablets. And in the best case, you can find all your information for the risk assessment in the operating instruction of the data glasses. But please do a risk assessment before using the data glass. So then I will come to the summary of my presentation. First of all, the electromagnetic field strength of the electronic and HDMI screen should be measured and analyzed for risk and hazards. That's a very, very important thing. Maybe you get your information about the operation instructions. If not, you have to measure it, or you have an option that someone else can do this measurement. Then you have to think about the workload, because we think the workload is higher with wearing a data glass. So we have to think about the neck and back pain, and of course the eye are focusing very close, or the eye focus during hours will be constant, yeah, and low. You have only a few meters between the eyes and the display. And then, of course, you should use safe lithium-ion rechargeable batteries and store it safely. And from our side, yeah, I've told you further measurements and bio-EM simulations are necessary to be sure that the data glasses can be used safely. And please perform a risk assessment before using the smart device at your fabrication or at your workplaces. So, okay, at the end, I have 3 more projects from the IFA. The first project is investigating the possibility to perform a safety check of a forklift truck with data glasses. And here we try to identify the truck, first of all, using a QR code. Afterwards, a communication channel is established and the inspector will get information regarding possible defects from other trucks we know from the past. Yeah, project 2 has investigated the cognitive workload of data glasses on forklift trucks. So this project is over right now. Therein, we assessed the interaction with information systems while driving. And during this project, we found out that there are no significant increase in cognitive workload. So that is a very good thing, I think. Yeah, and project 3 tries to provide researched based information regarding the safe use of data glasses at the workstation in logistics. So we have started the project this year with a lot of institutions in Europe, and we hope that we will have results in the next year regarding this project. So then I come to the end of my presentation, and I would like to thank you very much for your attention. And if you have any questions regarding the safe use of data glasses or data glasses, please contact me by using the shown email. So thank you very much.